finally gone and done it, ladies and gentlemen. Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund, top of the Bundesliga, won 10 games in a row. The winning machine since their winter break. Oh, but how will mid-table Premier League out of form Chelsea do it? You know, scraped by relegation scrappers Leeds United. But I had a feeling, boys and girls, I had it in my heart. And there was top performance tonight, and we've rightly slagged him off and criticised him, but he deserves credit. Graham Potter as well as some players tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea have qualified for the final 8 of the Champions League! And welcome to your post-match presser on Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Firstly, shout out to all of you. Thank you for helping me get past 170,000 subscribers. What a landmark! Incroyable! Incredible stuff, really. So thank you. It's all about you guys. It's not about me. It's about the community we've cultivated. And despite these troubling, turbulent times for Chelsea Football Club, chaos brings triumph. And we are through to the Champions League. Against all odds, drop a like if you're feeling good. Feel free to subscribe as well, because you are oh so most welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and whoever and whatever you identify as. 2-0 on the night in the Champions League, under the lights. Todd Bowley watching on, backing his man, of course. This doesn't mean Potter is out of the lurch. This doesn't mean he's no longer under pressure. He is under pressure, but the point being, he set up tonight. The players played for him. They played really well, and it can't be stressed enough. This is a team in form. This is arguably the form team in Europe. Make of that statement of you will, but 10 wins in a row for Dortmund in all comps, that is pretty incredible. They are, yes, they concede goals. Yes, they were missing a couple of players. It would be wrong of me not to mention all these circumstances. But dude, if you want to reel off friggin' circumstances about why things have been difficult, Chelsea have a bunch of those as well. We're going to talk about the game, the performers, what this means. And I'm feeling good. So let's get... Media, are you here? Bring up the microphones. Microphones? Where? Okay, there you are. Look, I'm terribly sorry to all rival fans and people who dislike Chelsea, but we are almost certainly going to win the Champions League. Stick your microphones down. Right! So let's talk about it, because I know you want to. I certainly want to. Chelsea win 2-0 on the night, therefore winning 2-1 on aggregate. Most deservedly going through in terms of the tie. It is not peculiar or wrong to suggest Chelsea were the better team playing away in Borussia Dortmund, even though they won 1-0. Chelsea, in open play in terms of chances created and the attacking flow of the game, Chelsea were the better side. And indeed, we were the best side at Stamford Bridge. Like assumed, we remained with the 3-4-3. I did a recent video on it about pretty much Potter saying, yeah, look, you know what? We're better with the 3-4-3. I also reacted to an article, Matt Law, of the day. I'm going to sip my water because I'm going, I reacted to an article from Matt Law essentially displaying the stats, how Chelsea are better with a 3-4-3. And we went with it. There's a lot of cards in this game. Well, we had 4 cards. They had 3. It might have been more depending on substitutions. No, that was how it went down. We went with a 3-4-3. Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. Fofana, right centre-back. Koulibaly, centre-back. As predicted, I said the third centre-back could be either Trevor Chalobah or Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella came in at left centre-back, of course, a position he's familiar with. And yes, the first choice wing-backs were, of course, Ben Chilwell and Reece James. And unsurprisingly, it was a continued centre double six of Enzo Fernandez and Mateo Kovacic. And unsurprisingly, it was a front three of Felix, Havertz and Sterling. Graham Potter, the Chelsea manager, making almost full usage of his substitutes, bringing on 4 players to Dortmund's 3, I believe. He brought on Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, Pulisic and Zakaria. Dortmund played a 4-1-4-1. Of course, the same names, Chan, Bellingham, Julian Brandt, who they lost pretty early, Sebastian Haller, who since he's returned from testicular cancer, which is a positive, triumphant story, had scored a goal, and of course he was balling for Ajax prior. Marco Reus joins the side, and yes, a lot went down in this game, and we will of course speak about player performances in just a moment. Let's take a little whiz through the timeline. They lost Julian Brandt in the first 5 minutes, unfortunately for them. Gio Reyna came on, who is of course pretty high profile player, good player for the US men's national team and Dortmund. And the first half's pretty like up and down. Like we have probably the most chances. We need to capitalise, but being Chelsea fans and being Chelsea, you're not overly confident until the 43rd minute prior to halftime, which of course is a great time to score. That boy, Raheem Sterling, restored to the front line, who I've always maintained was a good signing for Chelsea. Not because he's going to score a lot of goals, but he will score the odd goal. He'll always work hard, and he'll always retain tactical information from the coach. And yes, man, he scores a goal here in the 43rd minute, the opening goal to even up the tie. And he like scuffs his first shot, like misses the ball. And it's a classic, like frustrating forward moment. But then he just bangs it in the goal, and we're 1-0 ahead. And at that point, the confidence is flushing over my sensitive, vulnerable body, because we've looked good. And not only have we looked good, we've scored a goal. And we go into the halftime break 1-0 up. But how are we going to return, ladies and gentlemen? How are we going to initiate and start this second half? Are we going to keep it going? Well, Wolf, who I believe is the right back for Borussia Dortmund, concedes a penalty via a handball. Now, a lot of people think that it's soft. UEFA rules is in the Champions League in Europe. They're a little bit more stringent with this. His hand isn't on his body. It's out wide, and the ball hits it, preventing it from continuing its path and trajectory. So therefore, it is a handball. Peter Walton, who is a bit of a meme at this point, originally said, no, not handball. Oh, yes, it's a handball. When you saw the other angle and how it was essentially stopping the path of the ball and it wasn't down by his side. A little bit soft, may not have been given in the pen, but by UEFA rules, you cannot grumble. Chelsea get a penalty, and as described previously in the press conference by Graham Potter, our new designated penalty taker is Kai Havertz. Now, we need this goal. We need it. He steps up. He hits the post. The goalkeeper is rooted. He clearly waits for him to move, and it works. But he hits it so wide, he hits the post. Now, thank all the footballing gods that there was two players encroaching, and one of them that, there were acres encroaching, and one that cleared the ball, he was super far. It was absolutely a retake. No one can be upset with that. You can read rival fans going, wow, 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 wow. The truth is, the guy who cleared the ball off the rebound was, acres in encroachment over the line. So therefore, it's a pretty clinical, clear-cut retake. And at this point, we are all collectively sweating, because who takes this? The guy who just missed it, who has had who will have loads of pressure on him, or, do you give it to a Reece James, or, there's plenty of players out there that can take a penalty. But no, big Billy Bollocks Kai Havertz, who is a man for the big moments. He doesn't score many goals for Chelsea, but he does score big goals for Chelsea in, Super Cups, Champions League finals, other competitions, big important goals. He scores them. He steps up and, he scores this really, really well. So that was the two goals, and we're only at the 53rd minute, but it's really important to note at this point that Chelsea continue to play really well, and they manage the game. What Manchester United or the other teams recently that are playing well, that are well coached, but sometimes let themselves down in management, Chelsea manage this game really well, and it has to be said, Graham Potter manages this game really, really well. We see, a substitution in the 67th minute, plenty of time to go. João Felix coming off for Conor Gallagher, protecting this lead. It's an intelligent substitution. It's not sexy, people don't want to see it, but it works. And it works. And João Felix wasn't particularly amazing, but he was good in this game. And then we see Sterling, Kovacic come off. Kovacic, of course, was the captain of the night, actually relinquishes the captain's armband to Kepa Arrizabalaga. And I'm okay with that, by the way, of how he's playing at the moment. Loftus-Cheek and indeed Pulisic comes on. Pulisic becomes the outlet. Loftus-Cheek is a trusted player for most managers at Chelsea, and then Enzo comes off a few minutes later for Dennis Zakaria in the 87th minute. Dennis Zakaria, of course, a defensive player. We see out the 2-0 win, many more yellow cards, Cucurella, Ben Chilwell, Wolf and Bellingham. And Bellingham sticks one on Reece James, but he looks okay. Touch wood, fingers crossed he's okay. And ladies and gentlemen, we see out a 2-0 win on the night and a 2-1 win on aggregate against a very informed Borussia Dortmund. A well set up game, a well prepared game, and on the night, a well managed game. Stats, they had more possession, they had about 60%, we had equal shots 13-13, their pass success was better, they won more aerials, we won much more tackles, we dug in, more than double the amount of tackles as them, they were dispossessed more, so Chelsea were the professional team in this game. In terms of player performances, Kepa Arrizabalaga, man, made some big saves, he's not flapping at the moment, he's not rustled, he took the captain's armband off Kovacic, and the more he does this, I read a stat on online that he's very close to Thibaut Courtois' clean sheet record at Chelsea in a significant 15 less games, which actually is really significant if you take into account Arrizabalaга's disaster season at Chelsea. So he's going to seriously deserve more and more respect. All the back three really good. Cucurella, who I was worried about, probably very slightly the least impressive out of the back three. Doesn't matter, he's still very good and did nothing wrong. And that's all you can ask of a player who's been playing poorly and out the side. Of course, in front of him, Ben Chilwell, very good, as you'd expect, as he's been playing very good. And the Kovacic, Enzo Fernandez pivot, great. Although Enzo's been great, he's dropped off a little bit as everyone else has got better, which is fine. I think Enzo's going to be excellent for Chelsea Football Club, and then Reece James was also excellent on the right flank. Now, the front three seriously needs talking about. Felix was serviceable. He was good. Fine. But the other two were great. Of course, they scored, Havertz and Sterling, and of course, Sterling did a missed kick and Havertz missed a penalty. But despite that, their play over the entire game this evening at Stamford Bridge was excellent. Havertz's general all-round play was excellent. And I keep reiterating on the channel, Havertz is an excellent footballer. He's not a conventional number 9. He's not a prolific goal scorer, but he is an excellent forward-style playing footballer. And if you utilise him appropriately, you will do really well. Playing him as a lone striker, I still don't think it's the way to go, but the point being, he's really, really good, and there's a reason why, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, we're going to play silly money for him. Chelsea paid 72 million. Sterling, professional, scored the goal, really well utilised, excellent in this game. And substitutions, Loftus-Cheek good, Gallagher good, Pulisic, didn't, again, just basically sort of hung up the pitch waiting for an out ball like he was asked to, and Zakaria did what he was asked to, made a nice interception. Ultimately, this was a huge success for Chelsea and Graham Potter. People will reflect on this as a potential turning point. Whether it will be, I don't know. Who are Chelsea going to get in the next round? Will we get slapped up? I don't know. I mean, this probably secures Potter's job for the rest of the season, one way or another. But the truth being, it was a great success for Chelsea. It was a great moment at Stamford Bridge in this season, in this difficult season where fans have had to struggle, and players and management and staff. But, this was a moment for them, knocking Borussia Dortmund off their winning streak, and incredible. Great performances and great game plan executed. Let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really keen to read the comments on this one, so please do comment down below. Thank you for helping me reach 170k subs and all your interactions. I'll, of course, be back every single day, so turn the bell on when you subscribe. I'm feeling good. You should be too. I'll see you soon.